advocates with, creating good jobs at good wages. And tell me your thoughts here, because this, to me, this not only in Illinois but around the country is really, really important. And keeping the jobs here, making the jobs in America. Your views on this issue, which to me is an issue every citizen in this country cares about.
Well, absolutely. I'd say this, Jeff. We have the biggest infrastructure program in the country in Illinois. We started it 5 years ago, right during the middle of the Great Recession, and our public works, we're investing in roads and bridges and water systems and rail systems. We're building schools and repairing schools, laying fiber for the internet. We believe in sustainability, energy efficiency, and renewable energy, so we're making major investments in that. We actually passed a bill that I signed into law 5 years ago to invest $31 billion in infrastructure, and it's created over 400,000 jobs. So a lot of folks who were out of work back then are back to work, and we work with our president on our manufacturing. We have a lot of auto manufacturing in Illinois, both Ford in Chicago, Chrysler up in Belvedere near Rockford, and Mitsubishi near Normal. Each of those plants have grown enormously since I've been governor. We work directly with the companies. We want to make sure their workers have the skills of the 21st century. So our community colleges play a big role. So when you talk about infrastructure, it's not only physical infrastructure, but also the infrastructure of the mind, investing in education. And that starts community colleges. But today we started, we're building a lot of early childhood facilities. So kids who are born today, up to 5 years old, we want to make sure they have world-class early childhood education. And got 1 million kids in Illinois between birth and 5, and investing in that creates jobs, and it also creates a lot of opportunity for the future.
Talking with Governor Quinn here on the Jeff Santos Show. Governor, one of the things, and we had a caller talk about this a couple of weeks ago, a lot of people are looking at what has happened in Tennessee with the idea of Volkswagen coming in there. In terms of, again, keeping jobs here and so forth, what is it like to go out and get a Volkswagen to come into Illinois and to make the jobs here? Because, as you know, they're union friendly because that's where they are in Germany. Your thoughts here? One of our callers wanted to know that.
Yeah, for sure. I was in the debate, actually, with the governor of Tennessee, that governor, U.S. senator from there. They tried to influence the union election. Volkswagen was friendly to the union. UAW, we work with here in our state, not only at Ford, Chrysler, Mitsubishi, but we have Caterpillar and John Deere and Navistar. We've added 50,000 union jobs in Illinois in the past year. We believe in the right to organize, collective bargaining. It's good for the company. It's good for the workers to share productivity and share profits. In some of these other states that are anti-union, right next to us, Indiana and Michigan, both went right to work for less in the past couple of years. Not us. We believe in, don't fool me, I'm for the union. It's right. Important to make sure we work hard and get decent wages for every one of our workers. We're in a big battle right now to raise the minimum wage.
Exactly.
It's a referendum on our ballot on November 4th, and we want to get a huge vote in favor of at least a $10 an hour minimum wage. And, I've been organizing all my life, and this is one of our biggest organizing battles ever. It's going to be social justice for a lot of hard-working people who do some of the toughest jobs in our society. And right now our minimum wage is $8.25 an hour. It's a little bit above the federal minimum wage, but who can raise a family on $8.25 an hour? We got to do this better. So that's that's where we're coming from.
Again, talking with Governor Quinn here on the Jeff Santos Show. I'm interested, Governor. Again, Governor Pat Quinn has been serving as governor since 2009. I think that one of the things that you did, we talked with our friend Rick Harness at Midwest High Speed Rail. I know you've worked with him and others. on this. I love rail. Work closely with Governor Dukakis and former Governor Rendell and others on doing this, and I know you're an advocate. It takes 24 hours for me to go from Boston to Chicago if I wanted to take Amtrak. That to me in 2014 is crazy. It's insane. We've had our friends on from Amtrak, who's the sponsor of the show. I would love to see you and your fellow governors. If you could work with Governor Snyder, who I'm not a big fan of, to do the Michigan piece, then hopefully there's ways to do this, because this, to me, it's really tragic in 2014 in the nation's second largest city, third largest city, and you can't connect to the Northeast Corridor in less than 24 hours. Your views on this, and maybe there's ways to do this. I know the Congress obviously has roadblocked everything. They should be captain of the orange coneheads, Mitch McConnell and Mr. Boehner and company. But your thoughts?
Well, we believe in high-speed rail. Illinois is a railroad state, always has been and always will be. We've had tremendous increases, Jeff, in our Amtrak ridership all across Illinois. We're building high-speed rail from Chicago to St. Louis, and it'll be done next year. We're almost done right now. We want to get Chicago Cub fans to be able to get to Busch Stadium in St. Louis a little bit faster, and hopefully with a little better result than we've had in the past. But, it's interesting. Wisconsin, that governor up there, we want to do Chicago to Milwaukee. That's the most traveled Amtrak route outside of the Northeast, and he turned it down. He turned down the federal money, and there was a company, Nippon Sharyo, the ones who created the bullet trains in Japan. They were thinking of locating in Wisconsin. The moment Walker in Wisconsin, their governor, turned down the high-speed rail, that company came to Illinois and is doing manufacturing of rail cars in our state of Illinois. Lots and lots of manufacturing jobs and supplier jobs. All of that came about because of high-speed rail. And we've gone 111 miles an hour on our train so far, and hopefully even faster. So this is a real job creator for our country, and definitely be able to go from Chicago to Boston or New York or Washington, D.C. in a fast train. It'll revolutionize transportation.
Is it tracks, Governor? Is it overhead wires? To put this together going east? We have a problem in the Northeast Corridor. We have the Acela trains and so forth. But the problem is you go through New Haven, you go from 150 miles an hour to 25 because you have these overhead wires that aren't compatible.
Yeah.
And of course you have all kind of different jurisdictions. Amtrak doesn't own the tracks or the trains. It's a Metro North. It's one big mishigas. But is there something here? Because to me, this is a big issue that creates jobs. It reduces the carbon footprint, of course. Our friends was talking to a waitress last night about this. And the whole idea of urban planning, which she wants to get into, is the idea of taking transportation and reducing the carbon footprint at the same time. Your thoughts there?
Well, for sure. What we had to do in Illinois is we have tracks that go from Chicago to St. Louis, but we had to replace some of the railroad ties. And we do it in a 21st century way with lots and lots of workers doing, with these great machines, being able, in a space of a day, to replace a lot of those railroad ties with very much reinforced ties, and creates work, creates jobs. And I was there in Granite City, Illinois, a couple weeks ago, just watching them carry out this mission. And it is important to understand that investing, whether it's in high-speed rail, or in our case, we're also investing a lot in water. Mark Twain, a long time ago, a great American writer, he said, whiskey's for drinking, and water's worth fighting for. And we're really investing, in our water mains and our wastewater treatment. We have Lake Michigan here in Chicago, but then the Illinois River connects the Great Lake Michigan to the Great River, Mississippi, which is our border of 583 miles in Illinois. And investing in water pays tremendous dividends right away. It's labor intensive, and it really helps you keep and grow your businesses, because water is a precious resource. We got to make sure we're good stewards of it. And really, when you look at the whole thing, Jeff, when you invest in energy efficiency, renewable energy, and water conservation, we're doing all three of those in Illinois. It not only creates jobs today, but sets a foundation for lots of jobs.
That's right.
And clean energy for years to come.
Stay with us, Governor. We'll be right back with Governor Quinn. You're listening to the Jeff Santos Show.
Now we're clear.